Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barakah HaKodash, which means all praises to Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Bahasham means in the name. Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Barakah HaKodash means in the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, the only way you can worship the Father and the Son. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, salutations to all you brothers who preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity, who's given all diligence to make thy calling and election sure. And it's pretty much gonna be a little quick lesson, Lord willing, through the Spirit. It's touching on this whole controversy, which has always been a controversy, man. There's new niggas that pop up talking about this ain't right, that ain't right, this is this and that. You know, and for the new brothers and sisters who just now coming into the faith, man, you might hear this madness that you hear these guys spewing, you know, and you don't know the right way or the right understanding, you know. So these videos, you know, Lord willing, is edifying through the Spirit. These videos are meant for you to stand in your faith, man. You know, that the things that are written in the scriptures, man, must come to pass. Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, man, the two sticks coming together. Take Judah and his companions, take Joseph, which is the stick of Ephraim, and his companions, and put them together, man. Who are those companions, man? You see? So the name of this lesson is, Lord willing, I believe it's going to be 12 tribes. If not them, then who are they? You see? So we just going to touch, you know, certain tribes, and we going to look in geography, you know, and look in different areas, man. You know, because the apostles always says, man, hey, to have a good understanding of the scriptures, you must know maps. You must know history, you know. So you got to be well-rounded in this thing. You understand? So without further ado, we're just going to get into it. This is Genesis 49. We're going to start with Zebulon. It's Genesis 49 and 13. It says, Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea. And he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. So it says Zebulon shall be for a haven of ships, right? So now when you check out Zebulon and where his inheritance was allotted in the land of Israel, as you can see, Zebulon is sitting right here smack dab in the middle of Asher, Naphtali, Issachar, and Manasseh, man. So where's the haven of ships? You see? Where is that, man? You know? Because when you go to Genesis, the 49th chapter, when you start at 1, it's clear what our forefather Jacob was saying unto his children. It's Genesis 49 and 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days, man. So what's the last days? We living in the last days, man. And what happened? You see? This is something that would happen in the last days. Zebulun would dwell at the haven of the ships. So now this is all prophecy, man. The Lord said his word will not come back void, you know, but it shall prosper whitherunto he sent it. You see, the spirit of truth is the spirit of prophecy, man, which is who? Yahweh Shai. So you, Isaiah 8 and 20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them, man. You see? So you go to the scriptures and you prove everything that these guys say. You understand? So it says, Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. So now, when you look at a map of South America, a map of the Americas, right? You see right here, when you look in this map, this right here is where Zebulon dwells today. You see? From Guatemala down to Panama. You know? This is where Zebulon dwells. How do we know? Because it's a haven for ships. What happens with here in Panama, man? All the ships travel through here. You see? So now Romans 3 and 3. What if let's get that, man. You know? Because if you can't see it, it's only because Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai has blinded you to the fact, man. But does that mean that does that mean everything we saying is not true? This is Romans 3 and 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? God forbid, yea, let Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mayest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged, man. You see? So now, in Acts, Salaki, still got this little bug I'm dealing with. In Acts, the 1st chapter, it lets you know that the apostles would prophesy on the uttermost side of the earth. This is Acts 1:8. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. So now when you look at this map, this is the uttermost part of the earth. Look it over here, man. See, that's the west coast of Africa over here and the rest of the known world. This is the uttermost side of the earth, man. Where's the records that the apostles was over here on this uttermost side preaching? See? In 2nd Esdras, the third, 13 and 40, it says that they came over to never mankind dwelt. What land is there that never mankind dwelt? You see, these is questions that you should ask yourself, man. These is questions that you should ask the guys that you're following if they teaching something otherwise. You know? This is the land where never mankind dwelt, man. That took them a year and a half to travel to. Over in the ancient world, when you was traveling to certain places, man, it took days and weeks, depending on where you was going. It didn't need a whole year and a half for you to travel. So if it was anywhere in the known world, man, it wouldn't take a year and a half, man. This is common sense and calculating distance, man. This is using something the world ain't got. It's common sense, man. So this is the uttermost side of the world, and this is where the tribes came to, man. You see? So when you look at this prophecy about Zebulon, how can that fit, man? How can Zebulon's right here? How can that fit? You see? Zebulon has to be what? Guatemala to Panama, man. Guatemala to Panama, man. It only makes sense. You see? It only makes sense. Sirach 39 and 24. Let's get that, man. You know, because we ain't going to touch all the tribes. We just going to touch on certain tribes where it can't be explained no other way. It can't be explained no other way, man. It has to be what it has to be. As simple as that. This is the book of Sirach, the 39th chapter. I believe it's the 24th verse. This is Sirach 39 and 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. You see, Yahushua himself, the scriptures call him a jinn. A jinn is a trap. Yahushua himself is a trap and a snare and a stumbling block unto 2/3 of our people, man. You know? But these lessons is meant to steer the righteous, hopeful elect into that right direction, man. Into that right mind state, you know, to walk that right path. You understand? To cast out those stumbling blocks out the way. This is our job. This is what we're supposed to do, you know? And that's why it's important to make these videos, man. So our lights can shine. So our brothers can see that light and walk into it, you know? But, so that's it on that. That's it on Acts 2. So Zebulon would only have to be right here, baby. Right here. Right here. Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, always to Panama, man. Right here. Now, is there Zebulonites that scattered throughout South America and Colombia, Brazil, and Mexico, and United States? Is there Zebulonites scattered across the world? Of course it is, man. Because we're all scattered to the four corners of the earth. You see? But there's specific prophecies and specific details that the Lord gave in the scriptures, man. And only a spiritual man would see it. You see? We speak wisdom among them that are perfect, man. Fuck these niggas that can't get it. You understand? So, Genesis 49 and 14, it says, Issachar is a strong ass. What's the symbol of Mexico? Like, come on, man. You know, Issachar means he is hired. Who's the most workingest people on this planet, man? You can't escape prophecy, man. Issachar is the so-called Mexicans. You can't get around that, man. You know? It says, Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens. And the two burdens is what, man? That's one burden sitting up here on this motherfucker. And it's another burden sitting down here, man. You see? And it reads, and he saw that rest was good in the land, that it was pleasant, right? What land, man? The Americas, man. All of the land over here. All of this land over here was luscious and pleasant, you know? The whole earth was considered luscious and pleasant, man. It was, hey, the world is called Idan, which is a paradise, man, which that's what it's going back to, you know? This place is a hellhole under the management. That's why there is in need of new management, and it's coming real soon, you know? But it says, and he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Who did Issachar become servant unto, man? Well, first off, those goddamn Spaniards, the conquistadors, they came and took them down. And Mexico is still a tributary unto America today, man. See? So it's no way around it, man. While guys saying this ain't this and that ain't that, we'll give a breakdown proving what is and what ain't. You know? Because those two tribes right there alone shows that it can't be nothing else, man. It can't be nothing else. Issachar was situated right here. Who was the two burdens? Who was Issachar tribute unto over here in our land? Who was the two burdens? You telling me Naphtali and Manasseh is the two burdens, nigga? Stop it, man. You see? It doesn't make any sense. So that's all, you know, that's what we're going to touch in on Genesis 49. This Deuteronomy 33 and 23, you know, because like I said, we're going to touch on certain tribes. And you can't, there's no other way around it, man. You know, this Deuteronomy 33 and 23. And of Naphtali, he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the blessing of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, possess thou the west and the south. Oh, so Naphtali gonna possess the west and the south. What? The west and the south would be where Judah is along this side. It would be Simeon. Why is Naphtali up in the north? Asher is here on the west. You know, Naphtali would be considered east of where Asher is. So how is that west and south? That don't make any sense. But when you go to a map of South America, and Naphtali being what? From Chile to Argentina, now it makes sense. Possess thou what? The south, Argentina, South America, and the west, the uttermost west of this land, man. You see? West and south. Let's read that again. Deuteronomy 33 and 23. And of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the blessing of Yahweh, possess thou the west and the south. See? Argentina and Chile. These is Naphtali. West and south, man. How does that fit this right here? It doesn't. You see? Because this is prophecies. These is signs who you can tell who the tribes are today. Hey, because we lost our inheritance, man. What it says in Jeremiah, man. Even thou shalt discontinue from what I gave thee. Roughly paraphrasing, man. So now we all have signs and characteristics of who we are today, man. You know? Verse 24. And of Asher he said, let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his feet in oil. And that oil goes what? To abundance. You know, let's check out that oil. It's the Hebrew word shaman, which means fatness. Fat oil, olive oil. You know, it says for anointing, it says fat of fruitful land and valleys, man. You know, figuratively richness. Richness of what? It says oil, fruitful, richness of land. You know, now of course our land was very luscious and fruitful, but really it was talking about what, man? It was talking about Brazil, Colombia. You know, it was talking about these areas. Let's look at these lands. These areas are still luscious to this day. You know, it says, what? Dip thy foot in the oil, man. Hey, it's still luscious till this day, to the point where Esau Edom is still exploiting all the resources out of South America, man. Hey, because even though these are Israelites in these lands, they don't control these lands, man. Esau Edom has his foot in controlling all this, man. You know, look what's happening in Venezuela. You see, that's all controlled by the so-called white man. That's all controlled by Esau Edom. And me, I speak as a man, but me personally, all the motherfucking people who are in positions of power, you know, the presidents and the different senates, and hey, these motherfuckers is tares. They Edomites, man. And if they actually is Israelites, they Edomites in the spirit. John 8:44, they have their father the devil, you know. And they're selling out their people, man. The same thing we had throughout all our history. Sell out as Israelites, man. You know. But the oil is the richness of the lands, man. You see? And it says, Asher, dip thy foot in the oil, man. You know? So it ain't no way around these prophecies. It ain't no way around these prophecies. Last one we gonna touch. This is Hosea 9:13. This is touching on Ephraim. It's Hosea 9:13. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. So now it says, Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place. Tyrus, let's look and see where Tyrus is. I spelled that wrong, Salakia. Because ancient Tyre and ancient Tyrus is the same thing. It's the same thing, right? Tyrus and Tyre is the same thing. And where is that located? As you can see, Tyre is centered right on the edge of the Mediterranean. As you can see, this is ancient Tyre. This is ancient Tyrus. It was made rich by what? Through merchant, because it was sitting on the waters, man. It was considered a port city, right? So it says Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus. So as we can see, Tyrus situated on the water. Let's get a better map. Let's get a better map so we can zoom in closer. Yeah, we see it right here. Yep, as you can see right here, ancient Tyre is right here. It's a port city. Old Tyre. Trying to find a good picture. Hey, but all you brothers got to do, man, is type in ancient Tyre or ancient Tyrus. It's the same thing. And it'll show you, man, it's situated off the Mediterranean Sea, man. You see? So it makes it's a port city. So you read this and it says, Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place. So now we go. Wait a minute. I thought Ephraim was supposed to be like Tyrus. Supposed to be planted in a what? A port city, man. That's in the middle of Israel. You see? So how is that such? Well, when you go to the map of the Americas and you see Ephraim, you see Puerto Rico. Let me just get one of Puerto Rico. As you can see, right here on the map, Puerto Rico is right here on the east coast of America, southeast. See? Puerto Rico. And as you can see, Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, man. It's a port city. You see? Made rich through what? Through trade. Because the ship's able to come in and dock and go back out, you know? So it only makes sense it's talking about Puerto Rico today, man. It only makes sense. Oh, Hosea 9 and 13. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. And that right there, hey, what do these people, the Puerto Ricans, all they do is they do what, man? Try to get their ass out of there so they can make their ass to Florida to come to the U.S., man. You know who controls the U.S.? The murderer. Who is the murderer? Let's get that, man. You see, because when you go back to this, who was considered, who was Ephraim bringing their children to the murderer? Who was the murderer back in? Huh? Because there's only one person known as the murderer. A lot of people commit murder, but there is only one murderer. The murderer. You see? So let's find out who's the murderer. This is John 8 and 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So he's the first murderer. He's the murderer, you know. So it says Ephraim shall bring their children to the murderer. Who was the murderer? Esau, Edom. Was where I'm looking for. Was Ephraim back in? You see Ephraim right here. Was he giving his children to the murder? He was going south and giving them to Esau, Edom? Huh? No, man. It's talking about today. You see how all these Puerto Ricans flee from Puerto Rico and bring their ass to Florida and then travel upward to Chicago, New York, so forth and so on. You know? So prophecy kills all that madness that God's trying to come up with, man. You know? The Lord said his word will not go back void. He said that he's not a man that he shall lie. You see? So that's why it says, let the Most High be true and let every man be a liar, man. If he speak not according to this word, it's because there is no light in him, and the Lord didn't send his ass, man. You see? So Lord willing, I pray this lesson was edifying, you know. Till next time, all praises, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Baruch HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to all you brothers who preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity, who's rightly dividing the word of truth directly and correctly and giving all diligence to do so, man. Shalom.